and the internet world is buzzing at the prospect of Colby Covington and Conor McGregor facing off in the octagon. Absolutely buzzing. I mean, Colby Covington praised, and I repeat, praised Conor McGregor earlier today. I mean, it's hard to believe. It's hard to believe this just happened without anyone behind the scenes pushing this to happen. But this is what Colby said. Colby says he's a great fighter, a history maker. He's made history multiple times with a KO of Jose Aldo in 13 seconds. It was one of the most incredible things that's ever happened in the UFC. Things he's done in the sport, no one's ever been able to do. So where is this coming from? Why is Colby Covington praising Conor McGregor? Your guess is as good as mine, but I'm betting behind the scenes the UFC's probably going to book McGregor versus Chandler in the welterweight division. They know that already. We don't know it yet. Colby Covington is going to fight Leon Edwards. We all know that, for the welterweight title. In my prediction, which we haven't done yet because the fight hasn't been officially announced, but when we do it, we will predict and we will break it down as the reason we predicted, especially on the takedowns, the takedown ability of Colby Covington, but we will predict him to win the fight. Make no mistake about it. So that means in terms of, in my world, in my predictions, this fight is certainly a realistic possibility. Make no mistake about it. And this is a good time to bring up the dude list again, because you see right there, Colby Covington is number 6, right? And we get this all the time. We got to keep re-explaining ourselves. It's okay. These are our favorite fighters. Khamzat Chimaev is number 1. If Khamzat faces anybody, we're picking Khamzat to win. That's why he's number 1. If Colby Covington faces most opponents, we believe he's going to win. We got Leon Edwards at 9, so Colby's going to beat Leon, in our opinion. There's certain fights I don't have to dig too much unless something I look at really changes my opinion. This is how I'm going with it. And you know, for a long time, McGregor was 1. Then Khamzat came into the picture. Khamzat moved to 1. McGregor fell to 2 or 3, but he's always been one of my favorite fighters. I'd love to see him get it going again if he can focus. Now he's talking about the bare knuckle thing. You know, he's losing focus again. But if he stays focused like he did against Cerrone, and this time after he wins, or next time when he fights and wins quickly or puts on a good showing and the UFC can get him back in the octagon in 3 to 5 months, McGregor will surge once again. That's what I believe. They did him wrong the last time when they made him wait over a year. He beat Cerrone on in January and then didn't get the fight until all the way to the next January. And you saw on McGregor Forever on Netflix that he was ready to fight immediately. He only fought for 40 seconds. He's amped up. He's jumping on top of the octagon. McGregor is back. And then no fight forever. Of course, there's a lot of things going on at that time. The UFC shut down for a month or 2, but they were the first sport back. You know what I'm talking about. They were setting up fights, but because of the logjam and really no one for McGregor to fight, and the lightweight division was shaken out with Charles Oliveira winning the belt, the interim belt, and then he defended it successfully multiple times. Now Islam is the champ. You know, it's almost like McGregor was just waiting and waiting and waiting. And by the time he fought Poirier, he probably wasn't totally into it. I remember that fight. He was nice and friendly. That didn't work for him. So then he came back the second time and he's throwing the hot sauce and doing all these things. So, you know, the UFC kind of did him wrong in terms of just, you know, it's not like the UFC does everyone wrong, but in terms of McGregor, they did. That's your superstar. He fought for 40 seconds. He wants to get back in the octagon. We don't need to wait for a title shot. Get him back in there and keep him hungry. Feed him. You got to feed the lion. And the UFC didn't do that. So he took the L to Poirier and really didn't seem like he was totally focused for that fight. Even on the behind the scenes, you could, when you watch McGregor Forever on Netflix, you see like, okay, it wasn't at his best. In the second fight, he was, and who knows how that fight would have went if it went on, because McGregor didn't look bad in that first round. You know, he worked on a lot of things with the leg kicks and checking the leg kicks, and he was looking good. You know, he caught a beat down at a point in the round, and then he fired back. He even stunned Dustin Poirier a few times in that first round. And then we all know what happened. He stepped back on that leg, and he's been out for 1.5 years, 2 years now. So that's how the story goes, right? But if everything comes to fruition and we get a Colby Covington versus Conor McGregor fight, that would be bananas, because that means McGregor don't have to run the gauntlet. He gets one shot. He probably doesn't beat Usman in that situation, but Covington, is another story, right? A lot of people would think Covington will win that fight. That's his division. McGregor's got to move up. But it's not like Colby is like 6'2". He's 5'11". McGregor's 5'9". McGregor would have an absolute shot in that division when he's amped up, juiced up. And when I say juice, I don't mean juice like that. I'm talking about just strong, right? Maybe he's 175, 180, cutting to 170 and getting back to 180 by fight time. And man, I'm going to tell you now, McGregor has a chance in that situation.
He's gonna fight, wait, he's gonna fight, wait, hold your breath till the end of the night. Last fight of call, UFC at its height, yeah. Bringing that thunder with all his might, saying step up, wanna fight, hold up, think twice, gladiator, assassin, reckless, no abandon, walk through that cage, he'll leave your ass stranded, wake up, hey, where you at, hey, got hit in the head with a baseball bat.